Hi everyone, welcome to you all wherever you are in the world joining us. Please do put your name in the chat and where you're joining us from, because it really helps us to see where you are. I can see we've got people in Finland. Hi Marit, we've got people from Italy. We've got Lisa joining us from London. Thank you so much. You're going to love today's webinar. We're delighted that Kate, who's one of our ThingLink Certified Trainers, Kate is also a digital innovation and development coach, and she's going to be showing us all of the work that's been happening in Nottingham College, which has been creating the most amazing exhibitions and helping the community to develop their cultural capital. So if you're involved in developing virtual tours and exhibitions and celebrating student work, then you are in the right place. Kate's going to be our star guest, but as you know, we always have somebody else on the team joining us. She's not just somebody else. She is the wonderful Claudia, and Claudia is going to be answering all of your questions in the chat and putting your comments on the screen. So a huge welcome to Claudia. Hello, my darling Claudia. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. I have to tell you something. So there is somebody in the chat that I haven't heard from ages, and it's Carla Ira. Carla is the sister of one of my former colleagues, and it's so fun because I said Carla. So I haven't heard from her like since forever ago, and now I hear. And I'm so excited. I said, oh my God, Carla. So she's a very nice one. And of course, Marit, that we love Marit, you know, that we love her very, very much. Can I introduce the webinar a little bit? Because, you know,
you do this so beautifully. So take it away, Claudia. Tell us about it.
Thank you so much. Oh, there is Madalena as well. Hello. So I'm just saying that today we're going to talk about creativity, as simple as that. And most importantly, student agency. Because students will go from educational consumers to creators. And you know why? Because we will witness amazingness. So they basically created immersive exhibitions, and they will have their say in every single step. And I'm so excited because it's the first time that I actually witnessed something like that. And I can't wait to reproduce that in Italy. So thank you so much, because our next guest, she's one of a kind. She's creative. She's amazing. She's bubbly. So please, let's welcome Kate.
Yay, what a wonderful way.
Yes, we're so excited to have you with us. We are so excited. We don't know what we're doing.
Wow, how do I follow that? Thank you, Claudia, and thank you, Louise. Hello, everybody. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing some quite interesting experiences that we've made with our art and design students over in Nottingham College today. I appreciate you all giving up your time to spend this hour with us, and I really hope at the end of it I give you some kind of inspiration to go ahead and create your own experiences.
No, it's amazing, Kate, and I'd love to just explore a little bit about your journey and your career, because you have had some really exciting moments in your career, and you've talked to me so passionately about the spin-offs from the projects that you've been involved in. So you are the Digital Innovation and Development Coach at Nottingham College, but tell us a bit more about you and how you got into this role.
So I'm one of the Digital Innovation and Development Coaches at Nottingham College. I'm part of this fantastic team of really innovative people. But a little bit about my background. I actually started life in fine art. I used to run my own art gallery. So what we're talking about today really does echo my entire sort of career and both of my passions of sort of the artistic journey, but also technology. So yeah, I started out running my own art gallery. I ran that for 6 years, many years ago. I'm not going to tell you how many because that's just embarrassing, but anyway. started my journey with Nottingham College, which was 17 years ago, a long time ago. But there's a reason that I've stayed so long, and that's the culture of the college. That's the people in the college, that the staff, the students, they just make me want to be there. And it's seeing the difference that little light bulb moment can make when you show a student or a staff member something new, you know, whether it be outside of technology circles, but obviously with my passion with digital, just showing them this is possible if you do this. And it's not just for academics, it's not just for techie savvy people, it's for everybody. And yeah, so 17 years I've been there, loved every minute of it. And I recently achieved a master's degree in computer science, so that's quite exciting.
Phenomenal. That's a huge achievement. You
Yes.
know, women in computer science should be celebrated specifically, I think, because we need more women in computing science. So a big congratulations on that achievement. Such an amazing thing to be able to do.
Oh, brilliant. And on the back of that, I did win an award a couple of years ago, a Tech Woman 100 award, which I'm really proud of, for being an emerging talent in the world of tech in the UK in 2023. So that was really nice to get that recognition for the work that I've been doing. So yeah,
definitely. And you're also an app smasher, I think, like Claudia, because it isn't just the ThingLink community that you like to play in. You like to play in lots of communities, don't you? And I think it's really lovely that you appreciate the diversity and the suite of tools that you bring together to create things as well. So I know you've been doing things with Wakelet, you're using Canva and other tools as well. Brilliant.
Absolutely. I do quite a lot of work with kind of alternative provisions as well. So I'm quite into game-based learning. So I work alongside Minecraft education. So there's that element as well, which I kind of put that under the umbrella of sort of creative technologies as well. So they all kind of marry up. Obviously, you've mentioned Canva, you've mentioned Wakelet, and that they do all sit under this wonderful umbrella of a different way of exploring digital in a creative way.
And of course, ThingLink and technology has just changed so much over the last few years as well. And I was on a webinar earlier on this week and last week, which was with Dan Fitzpatrick, talking about the roots of ThingLink. And I thought it might be fun, because there's a few people joining us today that don't know about ThingLink, if we just explored those roots a little bit as well, because it helps to put things into context. But also just to say that please do put your questions or your idea sparks or anything you want to shout out in the chat, because you might just say something that somebody else is thinking, and we're going to answer your questions throughout. So if you've got any ThingLink questions, if you've got any questions for Kate specifically about how she's made these wonderful projects come to life, then we would love to hear your questions. So do put those in the chat. So also we'll send an email afterwards. At the end of the webinar, we always like to send an email out with a link to the slides. So you'll get all the links as well. And I've got some exciting news later on at the end. I'll be telling you about a new course that you can do for free. And I do see that Astrid is joining us. Hi, Astrid, another ThingLink Certified Trainer. Thank you for joining us from Venice. And I understand that you've just been looking at the XR course as well, which is brilliant. So I'm just going to put my screen back on, and I'm going to just show you a little couple of slides that I showed at the AI Summit the other day. So ThingLink actually was born in 2011, and ThingLink was the brainchild of Ulla Maria Koivula, who was studying for her PhD in education at the time at the University of Helsinki. And what I love about this is that I've got this little 3D Vygotsky that I've put into this Canva slide. You can make your 3D objects interactive and embed them into Canva. But the reason I'm doing this is because Ulla was absolutely fascinated by Vygotsky and his thinking at the time. Remember, you know, we're going back to the early 1900s. Unfortunately, Vygotsky had a very short life and actually passed away from tuberculosis, I think it was. And his educational theory was that learning is inherently interactive, and that learning can begin with wonder, a question or curiosity that drives exploration. So what if we could make any physical or digital environments interactive? And this is what Kate has done by taking images and made them interactive. And that we are like scientists in how we learn, we form our ideas, we test them. And actually, by creating these exhibitions that Kate's done, people can interact with them. What happens if I click here? What happens if I click there? So you are, in essence, bringing all of this together in the examples that you're going to show, Kate. And I think it's really lovely that people hear that ThingLink wasn't just a flash in the pan, kind of sprung up with AI kind of tool. It's got its roots firmly in pedagogical theory. And I put this together the other day, and you'll see this in the slides, and you'll be able to use this as well. And then you'll see that in the slides, I put these little links here. So if you click on that link, it will take you to my interactive evolution of ThingLink. So at the beginning, ThingLink was just about making images interactive. Then the opportunity to add in videos where you could put the tags in along the timeline or in the field of view, if this is a 360 video. And then, of course, you could bring all of this together and link things together to create these amazing virtual tours. And this has been there since 2016. And if you think now, you can generate a photosphere from a single panoramic image in ThingLink. That means that anyone can create these. And in 2021, the ability to add in 3D objects that you just saw. And where we're now is that you can actually use ThingLink to create augmented reality exhibitions. So Kate's going to be able to take pictures of objects and turn those into augmented reality experiences. And a hint of where we are now, you'll be able to, with an iPhone, take captures of 3D objects. You'll be able to add the tags in and, of course, use those with headsets right the way through from entry-level ones like Class VR, right the way up to Meta, Apple Vision Pro. And, of course, if you are like some of the colleges and universities in the UK, they're investing in immersive spaces. So everything that Kate's going to show you that you've been able to produce, you can truly view it on any device. And I know that you're going to mention that, Kate, in your presentation as well, because you might have headsets, but they're not right for everybody. Some people might not be able to use them, but actually, you know, being able to view them in a shared experience is something that's going to be quite exciting. So that's my little overview, and probably enough from me. Kate, I know that you've got your screen ready to share, so I'm just going to take my screen off and add yours in there. And we'd love it if you could take us through your experience, the first one, which is about the art exhibition. And just to say that Lisa's mind is already racing with all the work that she can do. And we've got hearts, and we've got one of your colleagues, Alistair's joining us from Nottingham College. Hi, Alistair. And we've got hearts from Astrid, and Marit saying, yeah, app smashing, totally an ultimate creativity hack. But Kate, take it away. Tell us all about this.
Okay, so I'm going to begin with the first of two experiences that I wanted to share with everyone today. So the first one that you're looking at right now is actually a recreation of our one of our art studios at Nottingham College. We have a dedicated building on an area called Stony Street. It's a beautiful old building right in the heart of Nottingham, and it's dedicated to all of our art and design courses. And what the why was for this one, I'm quite interested in the whys. This particular building, being as old and beautiful as it was actually under construction during the final exhibition date for our students on our Access to Art course, which isn't ideal. Big panic across the board for how on earth are we going to give our students the correct end of year show experience with no studio. So in comes ThingLink, and in comes the 360 camera, where, as you can see, I went around and I took 360 images of the whole of the studio during what we call a private view of our students' work. So if you're not familiar with a private view, it's the completed exhibition with the work. And it normally happens a couple of days before the public view of any type of art exhibition. So we were lucky enough to be able to capture the private view of this end of year show, and literally days after the private view had taken place, the whole building was inaccessible, which is a real shame, because as you can see, I'm just navigating around a little bit to show you, it looks top notch. We were really, really pleased with the way this had come out. So the process was, we went through with the 360 camera, recreated the studio, but put in our little hotspots of our individual artists. So I'm just going to take you into one. So you may be able to hear the music. The music was decided on some of our students, and what we were hoping to aim with the hotspots is not just an introduction to the artist, but also an introduction to their progression. You know, this is their final moment with us on this Access course at Nottingham College. You know, what are you going to do next? So I'll just take you through a few more. I apologise for the music if it is a bit repetitive. Yeah, so another one here. You can see we designed our little hotspots to relate to each artist as well. So moving on. So
I love the way you've used the custom icons so that it features the students' names as well. That's a really nice touch. Can you imagine being a student and seeing your name in lights and your tag?
Exactly.
That's got to have such a feel-good factor to the end of term. You know, it's not just an exhibition. This is immortalized in a digital form that other students wouldn't get to see if it was just actually in that place.
Absolutely. Exactly. And they did have obviously the design element for how they wanted those hotspots to look, and they decided on a uniform approach with the same colors, but they tried to make it look like almost like a little blob of paint, which I thought was lovely. That wasn't an idea I came up with. I was like, wow, okay, let's go with that. That looks fantastic. And I think it's really kind of giving it that professional edge.
Definitely.
So I'm going to move into the next area of our studio. Turn that music off. There's a lot of music. Sorry, guys. So we are moving into the next stage of our studio. So I'm just going to look back. That's where we've just been. Yeah, you can see that. So if we did want our audience to go back, we can click back to previous collections and they can look at those artists that are featured in the entrance there. So here we go.
A really nice tip from Alistair, saying that the Canva AI logo creator is great for creating custom ThingLink tags. That's really nice.
Amazing idea. Thank you so much. That's a big one. Wow.
Yeah. So the actual hotspots were created on Canva. So obviously, again, we were talking about app smashing earlier. Yeah, we love an app smash at Nottingham College, and instant thought, okay, what have we got here? We've got the wonders of Canva. So yeah, our students are very experienced with using Canva, so that was their first choice to create them. So I'm just going to take you through more of the pieces of the students, or else they'll moan at me if I don't show you all their fabulous things. So,
wow, that's like chronology, isn't it?
beautiful, isn't it?
Really good.
And yeah, I do apologise if I'm rushing through these, but I will share this experience with you afterwards so you can explore at your leisure. So let's go into the next area of this particular studio again. So one thing about this experience, you can see, obviously it's built on the 360 images that we took with our camera. And I think it looks absolutely brilliant on a screen, but obviously the need for this particular exhibition was to be transported anywhere. So we decided to view this inside of our VR headsets, and wow, honestly, it was just like being back in that studio. So that was quite a magical moment for the students, and obviously the audience. That we took it to a local art gallery, which we'd sort of booked as a temporary space as an alternative to being able to access our own buildings. And you would not know that you were not in that studio. It was something else, and it was actually a first for Nottingham College to do this. Yeah.
So let's just summarize that. So you created this, and then you took the headsets with the experience to another gallery so that people in that gallery could view the exhibition that was actually based in the college 2 days before the private viewing, when you lost access to the building.
Absolutely. I'm just going to move on. Da, da, da.
That's such a great idea, though. How many schools just don't have the option to, use the space in the school, like a foyer? They might only get access to that for 24 hours, 48 hours, but to keep that and then experience that in another place, you don't need to have the immersive space. You could have a set of headsets in that space as well.
Absolutely. And, historically, I'll talk a bit more about this moving into the next experience. Art exhibitions aren't on for long. So if you're not available at that particular time when that exhibition's taking place, you're going to miss it, which is a shame. So doing this experience with these students, it kind of opened our eyes a little bit to, actually, this could last forever. And if you miss it on the day, we're sad that you're not there to celebrate with us, but you can certainly see it at another time.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we've been prone to quite a few storms this winter as well. So, yeah, you might not be able to get somewhere because, the weather might prevent you.
Sorry, dramatic music on that one. Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of factors that could stop you getting there. One of them being accessibility. One of them being you're not really interested in art, or you don't think that art's for you. Again, I'll touch on that again when I show you our next experience, because that was a game changer for kind of attracting a brand new audience to look at our work. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. And that's going to live forever now, isn't it great? Sure. Even going back into this, I just get so excited because it was that lovely snapshot. It was that moment of that exhibition that was only there for, maybe 2 days for people to view. And now, we've got this fantastic digital piece of art that's going to last forever. And, all the individual artworks that are part of the exhibition creates this one piece of artwork in my mind that, that can be transported to wherever in the world it wants to be viewed.
Yeah. So, one of the questions that was coming up at the webinar I was at on Monday was about the future of assessment, and we were talking about how you would use these as assessment artifacts as well, and that students could create exhibitions or take 3D object captures of things as they built them. So imagine, students taking a 360 or a 3D capture of something whilst it's in the process of being built, because to naturally reflect and contrast between older versions of what you've been doing and the newer versions, particularly in art, when paintings change and your ideas change as you iterate whatever you're building. You can actually capture that process. And as Alistair's just said, make portfolios with it.
Exactly.
So you can turn this into digital portfolios for students as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were finding with this. It was very much a reaction to a situation to begin with. But after we'd figured out, actually, this is better than we thought it's going to be. It's a piece of artwork in its own right. The students were like, oh my gosh, not have I only, I've completed this wonderful course at Nottingham College and I've got my progression route and I can share that with the world. I can share that through this ThingLink and through this experience wherever I want through, an accessible link or a QR code. So what really kind of gave me the feels about this one was when we did take the piece over to our local art gallery. I had students that were international students whose families, weren't able to physically attend this exhibition, and the students were literally sharing the link with them and on FaceTime with them and going, that's my piece of work, that's my friend's piece of work, and being able to have that moment at the right time, with their parents, their families. And it was great. And, we were all kind of waving at them. And it gave us this almost sort of community in that space, which made it so magical because we'd not had that before. It was all documented with, photographs, maybe some Instagram posts, which is great. You can see the work, but you can't physically feel like you're in that moment. And, seeing a young artist going, this is my work. This is what I've done, to her mum, who's a million miles away, and her mum's crying on the other side.
Oh my God.
Nice. That was just like a magical moment for me, and it was made accessible by the ThingLink software alongside the VR, but it really made us think that this is something else. This is we've got to do this more as a standard in education because the reach it has is unbelievable.
Something else that really jumps at me, Kate, and that's, there's a lot of talk about AI at the moment, people generating images, generating art. And this to me is one of the most authentic experiences that I've seen where it truly is young people's work. They're taking pride in it, they're sharing it. And that's actually like a bit of a beacon of hope, isn't it? Because I think people are worried that everything's going to be AI generated and they're thinking about how to teach in the era of AI. And actually what you're showing is that, you can use technology safely, effectively for greater impact, for student agency, and for increased accessibility in such an authentic way. I mean, there's other layers that you could build into this in the future where students are narrating, their artwork. Yes. There's other ways in which you could build on this, isn't there?
Absolutely. And with my role at Nottingham College, so my responsibility is to look after the creative subjects with their technology, and they've always been quite reluctant to embrace anything new with technology. So this was a very big step for our educators as well as our students. And I think it really did open their eyes as well that, the AI is not going to take over the practicing artists and sort of conversations surrounding by that. In fact, we can use this kind of technology alongside AI as well, which we are actually embracing that this academic year, which hopefully another webinar might be in order for that. But it really did make them look at technology in a different way, for more so as an accessible but a shareable thing that they could use to really enhance the practices. But also that longevity of that exhibition is just something that we've never seen before,
Amazing. I know that one of the questions I was asked in preparation from the webinar was someone wanted to ask me, how do you get started to do something like this? Because it's so impressive, Kate. And the impact is, as I'm getting the goosebumps just listening to you about what you've been doing and the way that students have made it so open. It honestly has given me the feels. But how does someone get started with this?
Well, this experience was a knee-jerk panic reaction, I'm not going to lie, because we didn't have the building. So it was very much, I think if that hadn't happened in a funny way, I don't know whether this would have taken off, especially with art. Like I said, they're quite reluctant to embrace this kind of thing because it's not what you would expect traditional art to embrace. So when they asked me to, have I got a solution? You know, what can we do? Actually coming in and exploring different software, but ThingLink obviously was the one that came out on top to really recreate the true image and the true vision of that experience and that moment. I think that was kind of how it was born. So to answer your question, I think it was just that knee-jerk reaction, but it gave us almost a prototype, you know,
Right.
to share with our other curriculums, but also our wider community and global community on, we panicked, this happened, but we made something really beautiful out of it. And in a way, it was the whole process that was interesting and really a progression with how we're using technology in education and the pluses that can come out of something that initially was quite a panic moment.
Well, hopefully not every school has a panic moment.
No, hopefully not.
But it does demonstrate how resilience, and you can think on your feet and have much bigger outcomes of coming up with a solution. But in terms of actually using ThingLink, how do you think, would be the best way? Because I think what you've demonstrated there in kind of educating other people in the college is sometimes homegrown examples go a really long way and showing people what you can do. But have you got any other tips for people getting started? Lots of really nice comments coming through, by the way. Really nice, fantastic and involving, amazing work, Kate. Really lovely.
Thank you. Experiment, honestly. Look at what the need is, but just experiment. I mean, Louise, you shared that lovely timeline of ThingLink, and it was really nice to kind of see where we started with ThingLink and where we are now, in a relatively short space of time. And I remember my ThingLink journey was very much a experimental one. And I embraced the software and I was like, okay, I just want to see what I can do with it. What can I put in there? And it was very self-led. But the more I explored and embedding my little hotspots into my image, that's what I did to start with, like everybody does. Do give it a go. Give yourself an hour, have a little play around and just explore the features of ThingLink. The more I did it, the more I thought, oh, actually, that's really cool. What if I did that? What if I did that? And that led into scenarios, that led into all kinds of other magic. And it's that experimentation, I would say. Anyone starting out with ThingLink, just give it a go. Put that hotspot on that picture and go for it.
Brilliant. And I know that you've got a presentation prepared.
Yes, I have. So I will stop sharing this screen here.
Brilliant.
If I can. And I'm just going to bring up a little presentation because I just want to show you what it looked like in the art gallery. Obviously, I've shown you the experience, but I've got some quite interesting pictures, which has got one of my wonderful colleagues who's on the call today, Alicia. Hi, Alicia. You are on there. Apologies, but there you go. So bear with me. I'll just bring that up. No
worries. Please keep your questions coming, and we will be sharing the links to everything that you're seeing in the email that comes out to you afterwards. There we go. So,
all right. So I'm hoping you can see that. Can you see? Yeah, there we go. Lovely. So this is what it looked like on the other side. So our main art gallery in Nottingham is called the Nottingham Contemporary Art Gallery. It's fantastic. It's a very, very modern space. Absolutely stunning, beautiful building. And we were lucky enough to rent the kind of bottom cellar area. It's got lots of concrete. So perfect for this kind of thing. So we set up our temporary exhibition in here, and as you can see, we had a dedicated space for our virtual reality experience displaying the ThingLink that I've just showed you. So it wasn't just in the headset, says Alicia. Hi, Alicia, looking fancy there. Love that.
Really, yeah.
She's going to hate me for this. But we did also have it on a screen as well. So you can see here there's a little girl there just navigating away through it with no instructions. And again, that kind of barks back to the accessibility of it and the draw of it, that you know, she was quite happily clicking through that, where we had the same experience running on our headsets right next to her. We had student volunteers helping the audience as well to come and feel comfortable with trying the headsets on and also navigating the experience, even though that little girl didn't really need any encouragement. But what I wanted to show you was this. This is the CEO of Nottingham College, Janet Smith, who came to visit the exhibition, and Alicia and I managed to get this kind of candid shot of us with Janet exploring that ThingLink that I've just showed you. So again, I'm hoping Janet doesn't mind me showing this, but I thought it was a nice thing to share, because I don't think she made the private view. So she would have never seen that she wouldn't be able to experience that without what we'd done to recreate it through that headset. So that was
really
quite
valuable, Kate. I do get a sense sometimes that CEOs don't get, I mean, they're so busy people, so many departments, they don't get the chance to live and breathe all of the work that goes on in the college. So yeah, big kudos to Janet having this opportunity to experience, and what a model for other colleges as well, whose CEOs maybe don't get the chance to visit everything. You know, this is a really nice way of having that living memory kind of immortalized.
Absolutely. So I am aware of time, so I'd like, if you don't mind, just to introduce you to the next experience that we did, which was a follow-on from this one. Again, it's with our art and design students, our BA art and design students, so slightly higher level, degree level students. And I'm just going to show you a couple of slides, and I'll jump into the experience for you so you can have a look around. So what this was an exhibition that was going to marry up Nottingham heritage. I'm hoping most of you on the call have heard of Nottingham. We're very famous for Robin Hood, Nottingham Castle, all of the above. And obviously all of these are real things. So we had of course, you know, Claudia, you know. So Nottingham Castle gave our students the opportunity to visit Nottingham Castle and almost have their lens on their artwork, their grounds, all of whatever happens at Nottingham Castle. There's a lot going on there. They have their own galleries, they have a lot of ceramics, lots of spaces to move around. It's a beautiful place. If you do get a chance to visit Nottingham, do go to the castle, because it is absolutely stunning. So they did these little trips over to the castle, and the purpose of it was to almost take a part of the castle, could be the grounds, it could be a piece of artwork, could be anything, and give their interpretation through their own exhibition of what they would view that piece of work as. So the exhibition was called Jelly and Lace, and that will become clear as I take you through the experience. Obviously, lace, Nottingham, again, it's part of our heritage. We're very famous for our lace making over here. We still are. And the jelly thing, I will show you that. That's quite exciting. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, it really gave our students a fresh lens, and you know, our heritage in a way. Young people might not necessarily be drawn to it. So we were trying to almost get a different audience to visit our castle, visit our heritage, be proud of Nottingham. You know, look what we've got. It's unreal, but from an artistic point of view as well. So
that's so important, because I know from my own experience, where you grow up, sometimes you don't appreciate where you grow up, because you just kind of used to it, and it's not so inspiring. Where I used to live in the Cairngorm National Park, there's a ski resort, and a number of children and young people that lived in the village had never been up to the top of the mountain. You know, that's quite often the way, isn't it? That you don't appreciate or get to experience it because it's on your doorstep.
Absolutely. And I think that was kind of what was happening with our castle. Yeah, you walk past it every day and not see it. I suppose it's like if you live next to the beach, you forget about it, don't you? But if I went on holiday, I'd be staring at the beach all the time, so I'm just not
Of
used to seeing
course,
it.
it's
Yeah.
very usual.
So
Yeah.
so this is Nottingham Castle, and this is one of the sketches from one of our students there. As you can see, there's a big jelly going on, but I'll show you that in a second. So yeah, here we go. This is a reaction to our long gallery. It's a bit of a spoiler here. Can you see? We have a little duck.
Oh,
I don't know if you're familiar with our dialects in Nottingham. We do like to call people duck a lot,
all right.
and it's a bit of a weird thing, but it's definitely part of our heritage. We will go, "Hey up, me duck," or "How you doing, ducky?" That's very Nottingham. Sorry, I'm showing my Nottingham draw now. So one of our students wanted to embed that actually into the space in the long gallery. And I'll explain a little bit how we did that as I show you the experience. So,
hey up my duck.
hey up me dog. Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic. So, yeah, just to wrap up the presentation, really, we wanted something immersive. We wanted to attract a new audience, but we wanted to reflect our heritage and not supersede the heritage. We wanted to celebrate it, but in our own way, but through the eyes of students, young people in Nottingham that are living, breathing the art world around here. So I'm going to jump out the presentation now, and I'm going to share the experience with it because I'm sure you're dying to see it.
Fantastic. Alistair says, ducktastic.
Hey up, duck. Yes, Alistair, loving that. So bear with me. Here we go. So I'm hoping you can see that. Again, I apologise for the crazy music. There's a lot of music on there. Our students love to kind of have autonomy over the whole experience. So it's not just the artwork that's going in, it's the design of the hotspots, it's the music, it's absolutely everything. So the background that you're seeing here, this is not Nottingham Castle, but this is an AI prompt that we used within ThingLink to create our 360 image. I think it's really, really beautiful.
It's really
beautiful. You know, it is giving us, it's given us our Sherwood Forest feels with the background there. And inside a headset, oh my goodness, you feel like you're standing on the walls of the castle. Yeah. So there we go. And here we go. So we designed our hotspots to spell out the name of the exhibition. And I'm going to take you in the first one, which has got a little bit of an intro video made by our marketing team at Nottingham College. So I hope you enjoy watching this. I hope it's going to run okay.
My name is Kai. I'm doing a foundation degree at Nottingham College at the moment, and I've got some work in the Nottingham Castle project. So I responded to these salt glazed bears there and created some ceramic bears of my own. I also made them out of clay, but I made them with these sort of like spacey and colourful glazes, which is kind of different to the stark basic glazes of the salt glaze. Taking something of the history of the castle and then bringing out something fresh with emerging artists. That feels quite important. It feels like it's important to keep something of Nottingham alive.
I love that. That's nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's really good.
Yeah, So that's the first thing that our audience would see. And bear in mind, we had this experience purely in the headsets in situ at the castle when the exhibition was taking place. But we also had performances happening around the grounds. Our students were all over the castle trying to showcase their different pieces of work. So I'll just walk you through a couple of the hot spots just so you can see the kind of thing that we were looking at. So here we had our poster that was designed by one of our students there. Creepy music, which we love.
It's so multimodal, you know. I think we make light of kind of multimedia, and people just think, oh, it's audio and video. But this is immersive and multimodality at its finest, because you do get the sense of being in something that's quite exciting or creepy, or, you know, it really conveys that.
And that artist that designed the poster, you'll see her work, and it's got that kind of macabre feel about it. So I love the way she embedded the same kind of emotive music into that particular hotspot, because it really does kind of give you a taste of, oh my goodness, what's that particular artist gonna show me when I go into this experience. So we created it with scenes. So we're going to go into the first scene, which is the long gallery. Pause that music for you. So this is the long gallery of Nottingham Castle. Here we go. And in each of our scenes, we have a home button. So that will take you back to where we've just come from. And this particular artist, Yang, she decided to have her reaction was, to this piece of artwork here. So here's Yang. She did a performance outside of Nottingham Castle in front of Robin Hood.
Wow.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Really, really clever.
Yeah, just amazing. Not just beautiful.
And she decided to make some ceramic armor.
And as Alice said, this would be great for their portfolio afterwards. Yes, exactly. Imagine using this to go on to your next career path.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
But then you combine images and video and audios.
Yeah,
and
interesting. You should say that.
Of isn't that the best thing ever for our students? Achieve their potential and show who they really are. Oh my God, it's just amazing. I love that. I think I'm going to go to university studying arts because I love it. I'm going to roll soon.
Oh, so this painting here is actually of Robin Hood, and it's a battle scene. So Yang's obviously taken that image. That's why she's created all this armor. But it's also about kind of female empowerment for Yang's work. A lot of it kind of follows that suit, but she's added her twist on what she normally does her artwork about into the castle. So I'm just going to run this little video for you, then I'll move on to another scene. So here she is. So this is her performance. So Yang stands there for quite a while, but I think it's capturing the moment. That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to stay as still as possible, but be this kind of matriarchal female in front of our bronze statue of Robin Hood, which sits just below Nottingham Castle, and really put her twist on her artwork there. What's going on? So I'm going to take you back home.
Tell us a bit more about, because when you
say that again, Louise.
The way that it made it accessible to other people that had never seen the castle in that way either. So it became a community asset as well as just showcasing the students' kind of connection to the castle.
Absolutely. And I think because again, it's not just that one moment in time, it can be shared far and wide. Our students were sharing it with friends, family across the world. And they were like, wow, this is amazing. They were sharing it again and again and again. So people that hadn't necessarily been to Nottingham, had any interest in art or anything like that, were getting to see an exhibition, which was opening those doors to, I think sometimes art galleries can be almost quite intimidating if you aren't in those circles. Some people don't feel like they belong there if they don't know what they're looking at or they don't know what they're seeing. But, you know, recreating it in this way really did kind of open those doors to anybody that wants to see it. And we had people of all ages having a go as well, which I thought was quite interesting, especially the older audience.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it's so insightful because I've been to a few galleries and you don't feel able to enjoy the exhibits because you're in a procession of people walking around, but also they can be very quiet places, can't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, come and have a look at this, or wow, that's amazing, and you know, share your enthusiasm for it. So no, it's absolutely fantastic. Some really lovely comments coming through. Marit's saying fantastic.
Thank you.
The way it enhances each hotspot makes the whole experience truly immersive.
Oh, lovely. Right, I'm going to take you into another space. Now then, if you can remember from the video, we had young Kai who decided that he was brave enough to do the intro video. Now, he has done this piece of work. Here is this Kai. So he did Spirit Bears, which I learned something new about Nottingham Castle. And I've lived here for a long, long time that I didn't realise as part of our history at the castle, they used to bring bears up for entertainment to the top of the castle for almost like a blood sport, which is really, really sad. And I didn't know that until Kai told me. And his reaction, Spirit Bears, again, it gives you that, wow, that feeling of, can you imagine all the bears that were literally slaughtered for fun back in the day? Yeah, and I'll show you a couple of his images because they're quite emotive. So, you know, this is his response to that spirit bear. It's beautiful. And there's one in particular that I want to find, this one, who's sitting on the walls of the castle overlooking Nottingham City. I know, isn't that gorgeous? Especially with the music as well.
Yeah, definitely. I can see Kai being on the Great Pottery Throwdown. There's a program, isn't there? Which is
I wouldn't be surprised.
Pottery, but hey, I know that we're coming up. We're coming up to the end of the webinar now, and I think I'm going to come out. Excuse me. No, what you've given us is just such a rich insight into those two. And if you're watching and you want
to... Can I show you one more thing? I know we're rushing.
Of course, go for it.
Sure.
Yeah. I've got to show you the jelly before we go. Obviously, the exhibition is jelly and lace. The jelly. We've not seen the jelly. So I've shown you the duck feet. We did explore with AR in this exhibition. Again, it's the first time we've ever embedded AR, so augmented reality situations inside a ThingLink. So our jelly sits in here. And this is a work of an artist called Beth. Can you see this?
Yes.
That is a jelly on top of Nottingham Castle. You hear the wobble? We even put a wobble on there.
Wibble wobble.
That's not there always. So, yeah, that's that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I know we are kind of nearly out of time. I could speak to you guys all day. Apologies for going over.
No, you haven't gone over at all. What I just want to say is Lisa's saying gorgeous project. Alistair, fantastic project. It is. What I was just about to say was, you know, I'm sure that you've shown us just a small portion of everything that's there and those experiences. And we really hope that everybody on the webinar can take the links. You'll see that on the email that you get sent out, and you'll be able to explore those at your leisure as well, and to get in touch with you on LinkedIn. I know Nottingham College is on LinkedIn as well, and there's quite a lot of discussions that go on when you share things, and students are watching those. Students might be watching this webinar as well, so I just want to give a shout out to the students as well who are participating in this because Their work is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Specifically, Kate, but the work of the students, I want to see more of Kai's Spirit Bears for sure. I do have a little bit of news that I really want to share with everybody. So I'm just going to go into the deck that we have lined up for everybody. So yes, I'm going to put my screen back on now. So, and share this tab. So we have a new course which launched today. It's our Certified ThingLink XR Expert. And when you click on the link on the slides, it will take you to our brand new course. This is completely free. And this is a way for anyone and everyone, completely free, to try and understand what the differences are between extended reality, mixed reality, virtual reality. There's a lot of realities there, but this course breaks it down for you. And if you complete the course, you'll end up with a lovely certificate, which is the XR Expert certificate. And when you click on the courses there, you do need to enter in your first name, last name, no passwords, just an email address. You'll get a magic link, which is sent to your email, and that will enable you to then start the course. But do go through that. There's so much information in there. It will really give you the foundation to understand everything that Kate's been doing and put it into practice yourself as well. So we can't wait to see what you create. And we hope that you really do enjoy the XR Expert course. So that's our main news. If you do want to get in touch with any of the ThingLink team, Troy is our partnership lead for K-12. That's what we would call primary and secondary education, early years primary and secondary here in the UK. And Andrew is our higher education lead. I'm not quite sure why that animation's on there, that Canva has done that without me asking it to. But yes, our team are there and they would love to take any questions if you want to speak to anybody. But I think that's all that's left for me to say. I just removed that. Alistair's just left a comment. Try out Meta's Hyperscape Capture. It's amazing, and I can't wait for it to come out of beta so you can bring those into ThingLinks. Alistair, do get in touch with us. We really would love to see that. I'm sure that Kate's going to share that with us. Lisa is saying she can't wait to do this as well. And Petra, you are a true hero for women in tech. Keep being awesome, Kate.
Thank you, Petra.
Claudia, is there any parting thoughts from you as well? Because I know that you've been watching that and we've been nodding our heads and showing our appreciation for Kate. But I mean, there's so many ideas for you to take back to your community back in Italy.
Plus, I couldn't stop watching it. And I was amazed. And I was like, the fact that students are really achieving their potential. I mean, come on, they're always, in Italy, they're passive listeners. They have to rote learn everything. Here, they're expressing themselves. This is amazing. And this is another way of learning, of studying, of engagement. And this is something that sometimes I have to say that lacks in everyday teaching and learning. And this is really sad. And I would like everyone to have a look at everything that Kate did, just, to understand that there is another way. There is a way, to create and be engaging and and motivate these students that need to have their voice heard. And this is amazing. I got goosebumps while talking to them about that, because it's just amazing. And that's what I kind of do. And that's what I would like my fellow teachers to do. But it's so hard because sometimes you find a lot of resistance towards change. And it is a little bit sad, if I have to say. But thank you, Kate, because you show us amazing things. And thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Because
it is to echo, as Claudia said, you really are an inspiration, Kate, and we really thank you for being part of our wider ThingLink family. But also, isn't this a lovely way to inspire future students to come to Nottingham College if students there are sharing their experience. It's a huge advert, not only for Nottingham College, but for the arts industry and the way that you're using it. So a huge thank you to you for all of that too. We're bang on time, 10 seconds left. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We couldn't do these if it wasn't for your participation. To everyone leaving comments, we hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. If you're watching on the catch up, we hope that this has been really helpful. Do keep in touch with us, and we can't wait to see you again in the future. A huge thank you to Claudia, to Kate, and to all of you. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.